All right, y'all, happy Sunday. This is a walkthrough of Lab 8. We'll be doing attribute and spatial queries as well as spatial joins. So this is just a walkthrough of Part 1, which is the queries. So I will open ArcMap. And I'm new to this, so sorry if this video sucks, but hopefully it will give you the information that you need to be successful at the lab. All right, so we'll close that. We have just a blank document here. So I already have downloaded the data from Blackboard, or really I already had it. So we are going to add bookstores, counties, and states. I already have connected to my OneDrive here. If you remember, you have to add a connection to a folder. I have connected to my entire OneDrive, or actually this is the geography folder for this class on my OneDrive. So it shows all of my data for all of the labs here. I'll expand Lab 8, Part 1, and so we have our shapefiles here. So I will drag those on. And if you notice, they display in a different order than how I drag them on, and that's because ArcMap will automatically put points above lines and lines above polygons so that you can see everything. All right, so it says go to the data frame, properties, and click on the general tab. So this is our data frame right here. Remember, that's what this symbol means, is it's a data frame. So you can double click and it will go to the properties. So we want to change the display to miles instead of meters. So that is done. Okay. All right, so now we are going to select by attribute. We are going to select from the layer counties. You can select by attribute here. I always like to do it from the attribute table, because when you're selecting by attributes, you are going to be selecting a certain value from one of these columns, right? But if you don't look at it in the attribute table, you don't get a good sense of what these columns are. And so if you do it from here, select counties, all we have are the names of the columns, right? We don't see what the data actually looks like. So I find that it's easier to do it this way because we are, let's see. We're looking for populations. So we can see here precisely what that is. So this is select by attributes here. And so we want population from 1990. So you can just double click this and it will put it down here in your query box. And now, let's see, we want greater than, and then 30,000. You don't want to put that comma here. So we can verify. Yep, so that's a good query. Because if we had done something like this, it won't be able to read it because that's not proper code. All right, so we'll delete that, apply. Oh, sorry, I toasted a bunch of chili peppers to make dinner and the air is a bit spicy. Okay, let's see. All right, so we have our selection. You can see here that 33 out of 48 are selected. If you want, you can click this and it will show you only the selected features. Here it shows you everything. You can see here that row is not selected. And so we want to view the statistics for this. So up here, and actually maybe you can do it here too. Let's see. I don't see it. So up here, in selection. We have statistics here. It's indicated by the sigma. And so, that's weird. Oh, we need to change the field here. Sorry. Let's see. We want to look at the average area of the counties. So here for field, we're going to pick which column we want. So here we have area. And then this shows you all of the statistics, the number of rows highlighted, minimum area, maximum area, the sum of all the areas, and the mean and the standard deviation. Here you have the histogram. And so you're going to use, use that statistics tool to answer questions 1 through 5 on the sheet. And then we'll close that, and here we're going to clear selected features because we're going to select something else now. So that was an attribute query. We were asking questions about the data from the data in the attribute table, right? So now we're going to do a spatial query. We're going to ask a question about the data from a spatial point of view. So we want to change some colors here. So we'll be able to see what is highlighted better. So double click on counties, that'll open the layer properties. You want to click on this selection tab here, and then we're going to change the selected color, right? So we're going to say with this color, and we want to select a bright red. Okay. And then we're going to do the same with the interstates. We're going to change them to be yellow. And bookstores, we want them to be green. And because this symbol showed up as green, and we want to make sure that we can see what is selected, I'm going to change that color to just something different. We'll say blue. All right. So now we are going to select Richland County. So again, let's come into our attribute table, select. So we know here that county name is what we're looking for. So double click, equals. And then here, if you click this, and when you have a field highlighted, it will get you all of the unique values. So this way you can make sure that you're not spelling it wrong. You can make sure that you're going to have the right quotation marks around it. And sometimes because this data is man-made, there are actually misspellings in here. So Richland might have been spelled with an E, even though it's not in real life. So here we can make sure and select what we want. So verify, looks good, apply, close. And we'll dock that down here. All right, and so there you can see, because we changed the color, it's highlighted in red. So now we are going to select by location. So we can do that up here. Select by location. All right, and so we want to select bookstores that are in this Richland County, okay? So we want to select features from bookstores. Our source layer, what we're using to find the bookstores, is counties. And because, so you can see here that this is grayed out, that's because we don't have any interstates selected. But we're going to use counties, and we do have our counties selected. So we will click Use Selected Features. So it's only going to use that Richland County to select bookstores. And what we want is that they are completely within the source layer. So you can see there are lots of different ways that you can do a spatial query for data, but we want completely within. It's not generally so much of an issue with points, but this are within would be like if something was right on the border of the polygon, right? Or like a street that crossed it. So part of it was inside and part of it was outside. This would select that, this are within. Are completely within would not. So We will say okay. And here you can see, let's zoom in, all of the bookstores that are completely within Richland County. All right. So now we want to find out how many bookstores we have selected. So we will, there are two ways to do that. You could open your bookstores attribute table. So now you can see I have two attribute tables open here. We want bookstores. Tells you here how many are selected. You can also look at that statistics again. So bookstores, you can see the count here. All right. Excuse me. All right, so we will clear those features. And then we want to select Interstate 26. So again, we will open this attribute table because we can see that if we chose one of these I-states, which is probably what you would want to do if you weren't looking at the data, those are just unique identifiers, right? Because each of these roads or routes consists of multiple segments, we want everything that equals I-26, right? So we know that we want to use this route column. So we will select by attributes, come down here, route equals, get unique attributes or get unique values, and we want I-26. So double click, looks good, apply, close. And so there you can see we've highlighted the entire interstate. All right. And so then you will, then we're going to select by location again. This time we want to select features from counties. We will use interstate, selected features, and we want all of the counties that intersect the source layer. So we'll choose this. The only difference here is that if these were 3D features, this would capture it. So I never really use this one. I've always used this one, but maybe this is the safer choice. So we will say okay. And there we have all of the counties that intersect. So that is pretty cool, I think, that is a very easy thing to do. All right. So you will be answering questions from those. So now, all right, we want the bookstores that are within 15 miles of I-26. And I think that you guys should be able to do this on your own.